So, hey y'all. Okay, that was so dry. Anyway, I wanted to start this week with HD, just because that was like really a great trade. I mean, a lot of trades this week kind of went this way, but this is my best trade of the week. So, but I kind of wanted to show you a little bit where I fumbled it. But basically, it was this shooter that went in force on the month. It hit the target, and basically, when I was looking at it last week, I wasn't sure what it was going to do. If it was going this hammer, it's not really a hammer, but you know, we can see who's in control here. Just wanted to see if this was going to go in force and fill that fair value gap or what. Um, Obviously, it rejected these EMAs. It was a beautiful outside week. And, the outside week actually hit the monthly targets. And basically, kind of like everything else, it just dropped there. But you kind of knew here when it couldn't break that resistance that, you know, to watch it for that breakdown. Because, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you just can't really see it on there. It's 288. This is the monthly breakdown. So that's what you were looking for. So as it started falling this day, the entry was this TTO and 3. And this could have been held all week. I actually got in here with my stop up here, but then I got TTO'd here because when I'm swinging something as the day goes, I move my stop to where it opened. And so as you can see, it like just barely stopped me out. And I was okay with that because I actually ended up getting back in it. Actually, no, I'm on the 1 hour. Hold on 1 second. No, that's right. Sorry, yes, I got back in it Thursday. Yep, Thursday on this 3, 2, 2 down for the rest of that. But this entire move was about, contracts were around $200 here, and they got to a high of about 2K. So I fumbled it just by having my stop a little too tight on a swing because I had next week. I didn't have this week. So, but that's just how I do things. And I'm usually okay with it being stopping me out because I'll get back in. But I do like to look back and reflect and say, okay, well, I could have really held it because here, it never came back and hit my stop. So I could have kept the stop there knowing that I had time. But then also, I moved my stop up because the target was hit here. So that's also a thing that I do. When the target's hit, I move my stop closer because if it reverses, I want to be able to keep, the profits. So that was 274. So yeah, it did it on this thing. Opened up, ran up there, came back down. And so actually it's really far from the EMAs and it reversed, so may try to come up here and test these. Have to see what this does. It's pretty exhausted to the downside though, so but it also could be making an H. Could come test that EMA. Keep going. It has not taken these folks out yet, so something to keep in mind. We took these folks out, but not them or them. So, and on the weekly, almost a head and shoulders. It would need to make the shoulder, but yeah. Keeping in mind that it's bounced 1, 2, 3, 4 times from here. So another one was BA. Been talking about BA for a couple of weeks. Move these actually. Just wanted to mention this shooter is still in force. Has a gap on the day. Couple of gaps. So a lot of charts look like this. We're going to see that, we have shoulders, heads, shoulders, but then we have gaps, so we may need to make more shoulders. Speaking of that, let's talk about SPY. And I'm actually going to leave all of these lines because they're kind of important. I just tweeted about this, but someone asked me actually about broadening formations and how to draw them. Just want to mention that I start mine on the month. Can do the quarter, depends. I usually start mine on the month, and if it goes past that, then I look at the quarter and draw those. But SPY monthly shooter is still in force under this 395. And so, keeping in mind the broadening formation of where we can go with the month to take out that low that we made so far, we could definitely do that. 2-week chart, we made the 3 with the weekly that we did. But the weekly broadening formation just hit almost perfectly. It was beautiful how this did this. And then, it slid past that one and hit the bottom, this one. So, interesting to see what SPY will do. We have some exhaustion, but we still haven't, taken these folks out right here. Thing about it is we have 3 gaps now to the upside. When we just made this one and then this one up here that I don't even know if it's going to get filled anytime soon. By that time, this 200 MA might come down to this price. So, if anything, it could. And then that would be the next, quote, top, unquote. So, yeah. But we still have this little gap to the downside we might try to go for. And again, where I was telling y'all on the month, the weekly broadening formation, we already sliced through that one. So this would be the next one down. But keeping in mind the exhaustion, the gaps, a possible H that could happen. We're far away from this 8. So, anytime we gap down from the 8, we always come back up to test it. So, and all gaps don't get filled, especially right away. See how long it took to fill this one. This was from July 14th. We're in September, and this is how long it's taken to get. So it could take equally as long to fill these. The shorter term gaps is hard to say, but one thing I do want to note is that the interest rate decision is on Wednesday. So, and then the press conference is the interest rate decision is at 2 o'clock. The press conference is at 2:30. So we might have another volatile week. Hard to say. We ended strong for the day. But, we don't know. That doesn't really tell us too much. We just know that the monthly is still in force so far, and it switched our time frame continuity on the month to red. And it will stay there as long as it's under 393. So, yeah, it could even come up here, touch that, and then come back down. It's a bunch of things. This is the daily resistance that I have. So for me, the max pop would be around 402, 403. I'm not sure if it'd be enough strength to fill this gap, but, we're always ready either way it goes. So yeah, so that's SPY. QQQ I don't have drawn out as extensively because I play SPY more, which is crazy because I really should play QQQ more as much as I watch Apple. I watch Apple every single day, so it makes sense to play QQQ. I just watch it, and it also moves just like SPY. I mean, look at that chart. Look at that chart. It's like, but that's also due to Apple and Microsoft. So anyway, same thing here. On the day we ended with a hammer. We're far from the EMAs, so we could do our H here. On the month, this shooter is still in force. So if it pushes down past here, actually it's going to turn our time frame continuity completely red. So yeah, but I can see this with my eyes. It's kind of like the same resistance line. It would be to the top of this candle. So about 302 or this 20 is about the range I could see it breaking if it wants to go to the upside. And yeah, that would still actually be a H even if it took them folks out and still fell because the H starts up here. So it could like that. Which, what is that, October 18th? That's funny. No gap to the downside here. So something to keep in mind. Qs also did take out these folks. So it's a nice hammer. That actually might be a good Monday play. If we don't gap up. Play this break. If we don't gap up or down, let me say. Because who knows. We just take what's given. All right, small caps. Kind of similar, except this red doji is like, you don't know. You just know that this candle took out all of these folks over here. So, and we're far from the EMAs. So we could try for this gap, fill EMAs, downside resistance. Probably right 184, maybe even here, 185. No gaps to the downside. But yeah, and you want to keep small caps in mind because sometimes they can move. And also IWM is like QQQ and SPY. It has the same 0 days 3 times a week. And then I said I was going to start talking about VIX just because since we talk about SPY, we should talk about VIX. They move opposite from one another. So especially if you're playing SPY, you should watch the VIX. And if the VIX is red, then SPY is green. VIX actually has a shooter on the week. So this goes in force under 26.16. You can target that, which means that SPY would be green. It's not a holy grail, but something you definitely want to keep in mind. I know me personally, something I've been looking for is for VIX to really run and take out these people before I say that there's really a bottom. No, that's not even, I think it's on the monthly. Yes. 40, yep. Look at this on the month though, y'all. So yes, a shooter on the week, but I'm watching this, 27.77. Okay, was it me or did that not just change? Oh, it's a shooter on the day. Okay, my apologies. The shooter is on the day, not the week. It's kind of a shooter, but it's green. No, it's not because this is, not really a long enough wick. So it's just a shooter on the day. Which means Monday could possibly pop. Have to see. But yeah. The VIX on the week is making higher lows. It's getting kind of tight too. So Something we want to keep in mind. And then I wanted to mention EMPH because Key wasn't able to come, but she did drop this in the chat, so I wanted to look at it. I think it's already done the outside month, but on the week we have an inside week with a kind of a hammer. 52-week high is 324. So, you know, I mean, it could go for the gusto, or could come back down to rest like it's done the past couple times, come down to this 8, you know. EMPH is a tad bit expensive for me. I was looking at those contracts like do have a gap here to the downside. $6 gap. So, but it looks really strong on the day on how it's holding this 8 and 20. MACD is kind of tight though, so, but yeah, got a hammer on the day, really strong hammer, so we could finish that really quickly, provided we don't gap up. It's a $16 mover, so that's why it's so expensive. This feels like this needs to rest a little bit. Come on back down here. There's a fair value gap there on the month. So just zooted. Come back down to this, and that may actually need some time. Or ideally, because she did say in the next couple of weeks, if this could stay inside for this 2-week period and then break down, play it down to the downside, the 2-week contract, play off the move. Because again, you know, when we're far away from these EMAs, we know at some point we're going to come back and touch them. That's what we always do. Come back and touch them. So, I was going to go through all of these, but then we'll be here forever. There are actually still a lot of monthly setups that are still good on the month. A lot of shooters that have went in force. And, well, most of them are shooters. So I'm just going to share this entire list in the Discord. Y'all can look at them. Decide how you want to play it, whatever. What I did want to point out, one was Tesla. Tesla is trying to outside month, and it could really do this in a day. And like for the last few weeks, Tesla has been trying to boom on a Monday. So if y'all got Monday Tesla money, this hammer goes in force. You can look to play that. If this decides to do an outside month, I mean, we do have full time frame continuity on it, so the monthly target would be 314, but yeah. And then what I also wanted to, more 50% rules is when. It's also another one that's triggered. Kroger to the downside. And that's it. Like I said, I'll put the rest of these in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Netflix was the last one. Just triggered the outside month. Remember, we still got this fair value gap. We've been talking about Netflix for a while because we've been keeping an eye on this large gap. And as you can see, it actually looks like it's just slowly creeping up that way. It's taking its time, but it's holding. So yeah, that's all I have. Shay, I hope this Apple swing does go good for you. But at the same time, you know I'm in puts, so you know I'm not in Apple puts, but I need Apple to die. It's like, no, I'm just playing. So, did you? Oh, hopefully y'all don't hear my kids being kids. Anybody have anything they wanted to look at? Stuff that they were watching. Oh, I see Key. I see you, Key. I don't know if you saw me talk about EMPH, but I talked about that. So I don't know if you had anything else. Or Fidel. Can y'all hear me?
Hey, Lala.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I've not actually charted anything yet, so nothing from me so far.
Okay, no worries. Sure, you will let us know.
The only thing I was going to say is to look at Starbucks again.
Oh, yes. Starbucks. We do like Starbucks. We like Starbucks because.
So it looks like it's coming off the top of that broadening formation, doesn't it?
Is yours
You
on
see
the.
it? Go to the daily.
You're on the day. Okay.
There you
go. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yep. Beautiful. So yes, this actually, this is on my playlist. That was another, not playlist. I was gonna share my little watch list. I think this is on it. So this, whichever it decides to do, either 122 rev strat on a day, or it decides to, it can come down to this 322. Target the bottom of that. But yes, I like Starbucks.
I've got the volume profile line at around 84, so that's what I'm kind of looking to target.
And that would be the gap fill.
It
looks like a solid support right there. So, yeah, it's definitely had a hard time breaking there before, and it's bounced off there a few times. So, yeah, that's a good support to aim for. Yep, I like Starbucks. And this can be played all week. It's generally cheap starting the week, too. So, and especially on Fridays. So, if it decides to move, you can see it ain't do much that Friday. But, the Fridays that it does move, it moves. Gives you some good, 20 cents to $1 type contracts. So yeah. Let me check the chat. Yes, key. Okay. Well, I mean, did anybody want me to look at anything else before we? Oh, Apple. You and Putski and Shay is in calls. So, yeah, Bulls versus Bears. So Apple is kind of like, it looks just like the Qs. Wait, these have not been updated, y'all. Because this resistance, well, I mean, price has memory, so it's still kind of, wow, it busted up a little bit and came right back down. Oh, girl, you got time. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you do. Same thing with my puts. Shay said her expiration is October 14th. Also, my puts also have time. I think mine's are at 9:30. Just in case. But Apple, I mean, we do kind of have a hammer, but it's red and, didn't end strong. I think this resistance still stands and it could definitely pop there. Only because we've taken out these people over here. But, Apple's actually hovering. I had posted about this on a key level, that 50% on the year. Like, you even said that also, Key, in the chat, that 149 is a strong support. It is because it's that 50% on the year. So, that's not a good. So, that 149.17 we're looking at, if it holds under, that's pretty yeesh. This shooter on the month is still in force under 157.09. So, we do have quite a bit of range. I do see some support here, right here at the 20. With this 2-week chart. Did that outside week. And outside 2-week. So, yeah. Now, one thing, I had posted this, I think, this was on the week, so it was 3 weeks ago. We do have a PMG on Apple. So we do have some stops to take out. It's kind of can go either way. It's kind of, we're in the middle of this daily. Oh, here's a new one. Let me delete these. So yeah, we've taken out probably half of these stops. Still have some more we can take out. That was the weekly. That was on the daily. So actually, it's supposed to be yellow. Y'all know I color code my charts. So just kind of like SPY weekly, it boom, boom. So I have to see kind of what it does here. On the day, because we're, we could come up here to test this EMA. We are set up for an H. We have a shoulder, head, shoulder. So it's set up to just still also slice through that. One thing I want to note is that it right here, it ironed out this price area that it kind of went through really fast earlier before. So, interesting to see what it does. But yeah, that's what I see for Apple. All right, Jamal said beyond. Good Lord. Oh my gracious. Beyond is $18. First of all, can I say that the food is disgusting, so I'm not surprised. Like, out of all the products, Jesus, look at that bar. Out of all the products, I think that they have like the worst tasting. Beyond, I don't really like Morningstar either, though. So, it's at its 52-week low. Like, oh, of course that would happen. Sorry, y'all, I am outside. At this point, when it's this, you have nothing to go on. You can only really go off of psychological targets. 1829, I mean, I guess the next target would be 15. You could draw your broadening formations and, go based off of that. But, yikes. This is definitely going into the abyss. Did they have news or something? I mean, just besides the fact that the food is trash. Where is my news?
No news. If any news, they have good news. Like I don't understand why they're dying, but they are dying.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Like I don't. Oh, how low can you go? Like I guess I would shoot on the day I would have to draw like that, but then if it doesn't bounce off of that, then where is it gonna go?
No clue. I've been looking at this bounce. I mean, dump since like at least $50, $30. But my only thinking is that somebody is buying all of this selling. Um, I mean, in order to have a transaction, you have to have a buyer and a seller. So all of this selling, somebody has to be buying it. And Beyond is, I mean, it's not the best, but they definitely have deals with Yums. So Yums is like Taco Bell, KFC. And I think they even have a deal with McDonald's. So they have potential money. It's just as of right now, it's just selling off. But they have like partnerships and whatnot. It's just I don't think the kind of vegan plant based fad is continuing to fuel to the upside. So Beyond is just dumping with the fad kind of going away. But somebody is definitely buying all of these shares that's being sold
I mean, if you look
for
at their
some reason.
profit margins, like oh, it's not a profitable company. The revenue is going down. Like, ugh.
But I'm thinking it's not profitable now, but looking, 2, 5, 10 years from now, if you look, I think I might have seen something as far as their financials where they were predicting like within the next 10 years to have like incredible gains, but who knows if they'll even be around then. So
Right. That's the only thing. Like, would they? Only because competition could then get introduced that could just wipe them all the
exactly.
way out. So that's a yeah. I mean, it seems to me though that this would need some type of relief, like how it did that
Yeah,
and then came back up. So I could see this being traded, but yeesh. Yeah. I mean, that's the only way I would actually trade this is the psychological levels, because gosh. Or every time it runs up, short it back down. I was doing that to Tilray for a while because Tilray had this same kind of movement. It was going to nothing. So, yeah.
yeah. Keep that one on your radar. It's very weird and volatile sometimes too.
Yeah, that's crazy that this thing died so much. Wow. I mean, that's a lot. You could say that about a lot of stocks, but this one is just made new 52-week lows and just kept going. It's like I don't.
Yeah,
Where are the buyers?
long term puts on this would have been crazy good for, but
Yeah, yeah. At
yeah,
some point, I guess the people who are short or cover or something and do something. Eesh. Yikes. But yeah, thank you for that. Did anybody else want me to look at anything? You don't have to unmute. You could put it in the study time chat. Anything y'all looking at for next week? Key says CRM. Wow, CRM really got down. Actually, I'm gonna remove these because it's got two upside gaps, and we just took those people out. Looks like we got a 3-2 on the month. I mean, that cost. I've started using this 2 week a lot more since So I think it was the Alpha Pack that mentioned it. Somebody. I'm pretty sure it was Alpha Pack, but yeah. I kind of like it just to look at in between. But I like this rejection here. You know, just like a lot of things. It barely took out last week and then reversed. So bearish on the week. Looks like we can come down to 147 and then 138. I mean, it's under all the EMAs on the week. Just rejected. Full time frame continuity to the downside. And if Key is looking at it, she's looking at the 4 hour too. So you can see how it came up, but then couldn't break these EMAs on the 4 hour. And it turned down, and boom. Looks like on a 4 hour, it could, it may try to H. May try to come up here to this EMA. How far? Yeah, on the day, too. It's not really, that's more of a doji. Kind of have to see where this goes. I mean, also, this could be a shoulder, a head. May want to make a shoulder. So it'll be interesting to see how this week goes, especially with that CPI on Wednesday. Not CPI, the interest rate decision, where everybody is thinking the one thing and they may say another. So who knows how the market may react? It may, because it's sold off so much, it may pop because everybody is expecting it to drop. So watch your positions, watch your swings. It could be kind of volatile, especially on Wednesday, right around 2 o'clock, because it's 2 o'clock that the decision comes out, and then 2:30 is the press conference. So yeah. And usually right around that time, it's really crazy. It's volatile. Spot can move anywhere from like $5 to whatever really quick. So yeah. Let me check and see. Oh, my bad, Kate. She said it keeps bouncing off of 149 support. Yes, ma'am. Yep. It does. Which is why it may bounce there again. And do that. Boom. And then the MACD is really tight here. It's in an interesting spot. She said she hope not. I hope not either, sis. Like, it'd be nice if this, is a failed and then it just booms. Keeps going down. Ain't been in this territory in a minute. Wow, my 4 hour. Okay. KMB. Kimberly Clark. I have never played this before. Let's see. Alright, we got a shooter and force. This just couldn't, it broke there and then couldn't break, and then now it looks like it just wants to come down. Yeah, because this went through the support here. It's not an actionable signal in a month, but we do have full time frame continuity. So Jamal said full time frame continuity is bearish. I can't say that. It's in a Jamal zone where it has previously reversed to the upside from June 17th. This came after a dividend on June 9th. Price moves 11%, $13 in 3 days. Most recent dividend from September 8th of last week. I'm not quite sure what that is, but the zone to accommodate ranging uptrend with bullish bias and lotto to previous dividend zone. So he posted that in the study time chat, y'all, along with his chart, so that you can kind of understand his thoughts and what he sees on the chart. Double inside day, so it's not an actionable signal on the day. Or really on the week, maybe the 4 hour. Yes. Oh yeah, we'd have to see. But yeah, he posted his, like his space in here, posted his notes in the study time chat for that, y'all. I've never played this before. This double inside day is interesting though, and it filled this gap over here on the day.
I never played it before either. I think it's a some sort of consumer staple. Um, they make stuff. I don't know.
Household personal care. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I just noticed that whole dividend thing and it popped like that because I was just bearish on it, and then I saw it look pull back and saw that back from June, and it was like, okay, this is interesting at least to watch for this week to see if it makes that same pattern
Where they
that
shorten the
it did
rip.
after the dividends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just something interesting at least to watch.
Yeah, because I mean, it's been in the pattern since, I'd say around here. Oh, no, around here. It's rejecting this 8 on a day. So, and it's a fair value gap here. Like I said, it's not actionable, but that move up to that dividend, like you were saying. Now, granted, I doubt it would get past this, but that would be the next target. It's 8. It could possibly come up here to this 20. I mean, did fill this gap, so it definitely means it could move to the upside. Wait, was it PMG? No, not on the week. Took them out, so overall it's looking really bearish to me, but it's been actually in this range because of what it is. Like, I doubt it would fall a whole lot. Consumer staples and household stuff is stuff that people still buy, so falling off a cliff, I doubt that very much. But yeah, a nice upside pop. I do like it for that.
Yeah, I look to the market. I hope the whole tug of war thing is, when fear comes in, people get to defensive stocks. So that's where you have the people buying heavy
Yes.
into oil that we, always going to need energy. All of those, oil companies, Exxon, ConocoPhillips.
Right.
And they do the same thing with products and food that is going to be, basic and mandatory. Like, we're going to need ketchup. You're going to need chicken. You're going to need the basic building materials. You're going to need aluminum, copper, just to suffice the basic elements of life. You're going to need those consumer staples, and you're going to need the places to buy those at. So you're going to need the Targets. You're going to need your Costco's. You're going to need your Walmarts. Because they're defensive. They're something that people, no matter how much money you're making, you're going to have to go to these places and you're going to have to buy these things. You're going to have to buy bread. You're going to have to buy food just to live. So just keep an eye on those things. And when they start putting money into that, stuff like this,
Right.
they'll hit up those XLP stuff. Where my TV just came on.
I see this 119 area is a pretty solid support for it. Could still break through there, but yeah. Issue for me is on this monthly, it's like giving me all the. I mean, the MACD is down.
Oh yeah, I definitely think this is. I mean, the sentiment to me is down. It's just I
It's
saw
a good
that
long term,
that dividend pop.
Yeah. And because it has a dividend, actually, I'm actually looking at it long term too. Like this is something that you can like set a buy order for down there, or even average into, especially since it also does pay dividends. So I was in investor mode for a second, but I really do think that this is a pretty strong support. This area here. But yeah, just like he said, this is actually a good something to look into for investing because you know we're always buying this stuff. I have to look. I don't like Trading View for that but to see exactly what they make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it says personal care, consumer tissue, disposable diapers, swim pants, baby wipes, feminine and incontinence care products. I mean, hello, that's not going anywhere. Napkins, household products. So yeah, this is, I mean, something that won't go anywhere, and it won't
Oh,
go
it's
to
Kleenex.
$20. Yeah.
It's up. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. So this
Oh,
is a good. I mean, this ain't going nowhere at all. So it's a good long
okay.
term hold.
Huggies. Okay. Now, okay.
Mhm. All the baby stuff, and then I don't know if it's always or whatever they Kotex, whichever one, but pads and tampons ain't going nowhere either. So yeah.
Yeah. They got Kotex, cotton nail. Okay. That's a wow.
Mhm. Good looking out. I will add that to my dividend list actually. So.
Okay. Um. And then just setting up stuff. I mean, it might be a little bit too late, but holiday season. The most immediate. I mean, it's not a holiday, but it's celebrated. Um, and I know I've already started hearing whisperings about Party City. Nobody really plays that or pays attention to it because it's shit. But around this time, when people go to Party City to get costumes and Halloween parties,
Right.
Christmas parties, Thanksgiving parties, like they get hit up. They get the stock
What's
gets
their
paid
ticker?
attention. And you said what?
What's Party City ticker?
I think it's party. P
Oh,
P L. I
it
get
says
them confused
DRS.
with Dave and
Oh, there we
Buster's.
go. Oh, PRTY. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, it's been
But
beat down
just
enough.
yeah, and just using them as an example of seasonal trade ideas. So just thinking on along the lines of that. We have the real holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas that are coming up. So you want to start looking at retailers who specialize in things like that. I mean, that's the same place as Target,
Walmart,
Christmas,
Amazon.
yeah, Christmas shopping, Walmart, everything from Macy's to Target to Nordstrom's, BJ's, like all of those retailers. And then you want to look at how people are paying for all of this stuff. So the credit card companies and the transaction companies are going to get paid off for all of these transactions, no matter if it's for Christmas or Thanksgiving or Halloween. They'll get paid off the transaction. So then you talk about Visa, Mastercard, Goldman Sachs, even PayPal and Affirm. People buying stuff on credit on this new Hot Boys credits type of stuff. Even Apple has their own financing now, where
Affirm
you
has
can buy
been.
stuff through Apple Pay. So just looking at those stocks and those companies too, just to take advantage on the holiday season spending.
Yep, and a lot of them have been beat down. And then also, with elections coming up around that time, after September, we might see a nice little pop. So yeah, yeah, those were very great suggestions. Affirm has been whew, slaughtered, slaughtered. But you're right; they're definitely going to get more business as the holiday season comes up because that's the layaway company. So, um, yeah, awesome, awesome. I appreciate that. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah,
concerns.
I can talk all day. Like I got a whole bunch of other ones too.
That was me with the monthlies. That's why I was like, I'm just gonna post this list in the Discord because I can look at all of them. A lot of these charts are doing the same thing, like especially on the month. They just it's hammers that are in. I mean, shooters that are in force. So yeah, but I try to keep this to an hour,
Yeah.
only because yes, we can definitely sit here and talk for forever because there's monthly setups and then there's quarter setups and then there's day ones and yeah. So um, I guess I will talk to you guys in the Discord. I will post the month setups in the member plays section. And if y'all have any other questions, y'all can always use the study time chat for any type of questions you have. If you got some strat specific questions, like if I said something on here that you don't understand, we got a strat channel. It's called all the strat chat. So if you just want to talk strat and ask people what we see or whatever, then check that out. So, all right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Y'all have a great weekend.